Okay. Do you feel burnt out, like you're overworking, or just that the joy is sucked out of the work that you're doing? Or are you the person who gets a lot of ideas and inspiration and you jump from one thing to another, but not really bringing a lot of them to life? I want to talk about masculine and feminine ways of leadership so that you can feel more integrated and conscious in your life, not just developing one of these because then we're out of balance. So the masculine is about making it happen. It's about being focused and in action. Whereas the feminine is about allowing it to happen, being receptive. And so, for example, creating clients would be masculine. We're creating clients. Whereas feminine is more, we're attracting clients. So whether we're female or male, ideally we have both developed masculine and feminine ways of taking leadership in our lives so that we can respond to whatever situation we're in a way that's actually effective rather than leaning too hard on the one that's more developed. And so if we're overdeveloped in our masculine, we're going to push hard, we're going to push things so hard that we could hurt our bodies or our relationships or just take the joy out of the work that we're doing, right? And we're not as receptive and open to our intuitive nature. If we are leaning too hard on the feminine, we may have all these ideas, open journals, different notes everywhere, and tabs open on our computer, but not really executing with structure and grounded plan to bring those to life. Our rational brain is limited, whereas our intuitive nature is much more connected and expansive. So ideally, we receive inspiration and clarity from our feminine, and then from our masculine, take it into execution so that we can actually be successful with it. And ideally, our doing comes from our being so that it enhances it rather than diminishes it. This is a more conscious and integrated way of leadership. I heard this quote one time where this physicist was talking about it's not just do, and it's not just be, it's do, right? That's where we get the momentum and the magic and the dance of life. So it's about doing, but it's about also being receptive. So I'm definitely still integrating this more masterfully in my own business and life, but I'll share with you a practical story that can help ground this for you a little bit. So when I first started my business, I actually went into partnership with my best friend and we led Bali retreats. We created and filled them and led them for quite a few years. Anytime we were in a business meeting and we didn't have clarity on a decision, we would just close the computer and we'd drop into a meditation for 2 minutes. And if an insight came through, we would act on it. And if we didn't need to make a decision, we'd put a note to ourselves on the side. And we'd go through our life kind of doing this meta listening so that if some type of insight came through, that we could act on it later. Of course, if you need to know right then and there, you make a decision on whatever way feels most right for you. But at least this is a process of being able to be more available to life's guidance and insights rather than just relying on mind-based knowing, because so much is available. Other times I've had these sort of, I call them toilet temple moments where I go to the bathroom and I just drop in and some kind of download comes through and then I take action on that. So those are like built-in ways to make sure we're listening, but you can do it consciously in your life too. I call it lead by listening. So the feminine receives and the masculine executes on it. And I hear it takes about 30 minutes to really shift from one brain to another. And so some tips to help you kind of speed up that process or have a ritual to shift from more of your one way of being at work to being with your family are to get into your body, get into nature. You can put on some music, you can take a shower, something to help you just shift and be more present from one way of being to another. Another thing you can do if you're at work and you just need a mind break, and a lot of people do this where they'll work 50 minutes and they'll take 10 minutes off, you're more productive that way. This is also about integrating masculine and feminine, is to just walk around your office. And if you have a home office, you can just put on a song and dance for 5 minutes. Let yourself just get an energy break so that you can let it go. I know Einstein would meditate by taking walks and being in nature and just slowing down, right? We all want to be able to hear the intelligence that's beyond the mind and then use the mind to execute on it as well. I find that chunking all my logical work in one day versus my creative work in another day really supports me. May work for you, may not. But I have a lot of my team meetings. I get through a lot of setting up the week and logistics with my team on Mondays, whereas Thursdays I do a lot of creative work and I see clients and I do a lot of writing. This helps me stay in my zone and there's like a momentum that picks up out over time. Obviously, I'm taking breaks no matter what, but it helps me just get in the flow and not have to shift back and forth so quickly. So think about it for yourself. Where are you more developed and stronger? Is it in your masculine or is it in your feminine? And start to consider how you can develop the opposite for yourself. So if you're stronger in your masculine, you may want to consider doing an intuition log where you're just tracking and paying attention to any inspiration and creative ideas that come forward, because anything you focus on will expand, right? It's like dreams. You have a dream journal, it starts getting louder. Or just having a stillness practice, like a meditation practice, so that you can just listen to yourself. Or follow through or staying consistent with your dreams is harder for you and you want to develop your masculine, think about hiring a coach or doing a program that can support you in really developing this for yourself. So think about what's the one thing you can do from watching this video. Rather than letting this just be entertainment, think about one small, simple thing that you can apply for the next 24 hours as an experiment into your life. The small daily things are what change our lives. So write in the comments below, what is it for you? Are you going to take breaks throughout the day? Maybe taking breaths or making sure you have dance breaks? Are you going to write an intuition log? Are you going to hire somebody to support you? What's the one small thing you can do today? Let us know in the comments below. It'll inspire other people with ideas. Know that we're cheering for you, and I can't wait to connect with you in the comments.